What's this one? No, dark. You know.
No, it's gonna go. No, it's gonna go on a bit better after. See, there we go. Oh, maybe more light.
No. Yeah, we're good like that.
We're good. We're good. We'll see who. Oh, we got two people. Two people around. Was it done like me? No, that's fine. Hello, 5 people watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Did you get some turkey yesterday?
Yes, sir.
With the stuffing. Steve, text me tomorrow for the breaks. We're in the Milan Weekly.
Yes.
We're in the Milan Weekly podcast, and Simon, afternoon, gents. I should be studying. I'm studying. It's Chris. It's a Thanksgiving. Maurizio, how dare you mess up with my routine, Maurizio? It's a day off, Maurizio.
What are you gonna do?
Scusa. It's a tacchino. Hopefully, you guys. Hope you guys had some bello tacchino. We're gonna start off soon, guys. We interviewed a Canadian senator. We had the Milan Club Poland. Me and Steve, we got everything done, and we got a Milanista. And let's just say that if Presidente would have done this interview, I think it would have lasted an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Typical politician responses. Yes, Maurice, because there's nothing more Canadian than the hitman, because it's Canadian, Thanksgiving and everything. Siamo pronti, signor Stevie. He's tweeting out, guys. He's tweeting out. Give us a couple of minutes over here. And guys, by the way, we're going to mention after, if you guys have a chance to listen to Milan Club Poland, these guys take the bus sometimes to go watch it. 18 hours going and 18 hours coming back. Whenever people are complaining about being a true Milanista, that's a true Milanista right there. Looking forward to next Monday's possible guest. Roberto, happy Thanksgiving. Who's next Monday's possible guest?
I have no idea.
Maurizio, do you know stuff that we don't know? Anyways, but let me go get a beer. Siamo pronti, presto.
Water. Digest. Both to the hatch that we got today. Both to the hatch.
Water. Yeah, good. You want another water?
Bring me a water.
You want a beer?
Both to the hatch.
That's a lot of beer. We could do a beer. All right. Liban Youssef, afternoon, boys. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Oh, Camilla. Maurizio, why are you saying these things for?
Yeah,
la Madonna. Ma, you know what? I'm in Presidente.
Sabrina!
Hello. Happy Turkey Day. Boh. Siamo pronti, signore Polillo.
Yes.
Guys, are you ready? We're all ready. Whoever wants to join in, they'll join in after. But I know we don't have a lot of questions, so if anything, we'll take your questions from the. Steve looks like he doesn't want to see another turkey, including ours, Hakan. Hey, he assisted today, Hakan.
True.
Yeah, Liban, we're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about that. Oh, you started to. You got a little quick there. You shot off a bit too quick.
Come on.
You know what I mean.
Let's go. Let's get it on the road.
Aspect. Go. Changes.
Don't wanna be a richer man.
David Bowie says changes because it seems to be the perfect description for our beloved Milan team. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Canadian Thanksgiving Milan Weekly Podcast. Nothing more Canadian than the hitman right over here. And Vinny T, Stevie P, when we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Boy, do we have things to talk about today, Steve.
Yes.
It's a early one for us today. Thank you for everybody joining us on the YouTube machine. Thank you for the people that have replied back to us on the Twitter. How was your Thanksgiving, Steve?
Fantastic.
Had a couple of turkeys. Is that what you-
Turkey stuffed with glorious stuffing, ladies and gentlemen. My mother-in-law did a fantastic job with this turkey that cooked for 13 hours.
Nice.
The stuffing was the bread, the moistness, the moist bread and the celery mixed with sausage inside this beautiful bird. I had a couple of pieces of turkey, some gravy, actual gravy, not like our American friends who call sauce gravy. This is gravy.
They're from
Gravy
New Jer-
belongs on the turkey.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's mostly people from New Jersey that
New
they call
Jersey.
it. They call
Give me
it-
some gravy.
Give me some.
Gravy belongs on the turkey. Sauce belongs on the pasta.
You guys understood there? All right. So before we get into it, because we do have a couple of questions, might not be a long one, guys. Stay tuned at the end of the podcast. Presidente got us a special guest who actually got a Senator Tony Lofreda from the Canadian. He's a Canadian
Audio
senator.
only. Audio only.
Audio
So you're
only.
gonna have to listen to the podcast.
You have to listen to the podcast as a fellow Milanista and great gave us the political answers. Very
Beautiful.
nice, very nice. And
Tony, compare Tony.
and before we get into it, Steve, I have something that I want to talk to you about.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, special Milan Weekly podcast. People got excited. They thought they were going to see me and you. It's Presidente talking to fellow Milanese from the feminile team from South Africa. And then this week again,
Special Milan Weekly podcast.
architectural podcast with David from Milan Club Philly. I believe, sorry guys, I forgot who was the other person on there. Was it
Architectural podcast.
architectural podcast? And
We ventured into this avenue of podcasting.
and it was like I felt, like Friends used to be a big show, then they try to do a spin-off. Is he riding off our coattails? I don't understand. Can you please, Steve, do me a favor? Because right now I'm trying to understand what is he mooching off of us? Is he mooching off of us?
Yeah, so I had time to think about this, and I channeled by myself, my inner Bob Ross, to understand where this is coming from. Because there was no presidential points I saw. He was a bit too busy, guys. So he's now in corporate mode. President is in corporate mode. He needs to maximize airtime at all times. He wants to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And he thinks that talking like this with all our guests, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to take it to that next level. So much so, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody on live here in YouTube, near Canadian Thanksgiving, we try to go apple picking and pumpkin picking, which to me, because I have two kids, it's beautiful. I know that some people on the air know Mauricio because we have a personal relationship. I know he has kids. He doesn't like to go apple picking. No one likes to go apple picking. You could buy the same apples at the store.
Yeah.
The exact same
But
apples.
it's the activity.
But Presidente goes because he knows he can get a deal, Vinny. He knows he can get a deal. For $9, he can bring back 25 pounds of apples. Vinny,
Isn't there a limit?
25 pounds. You know why? Because Presidente took it to another level.
What did he do?
He went to the apple farm where they also sell pumpkins. And he said, guys, your model is all wrong. Your model is all wrong. These trees, they should be infused with glorious water, Evian water from the springs of France, causing multiple apples to spur in large, glorious circles that he can pick from. And you know what, Vinny? He said, you know what? There's going to be a method to my madness. Little Presidente was picking apples randomly. He said, no, you have to go in order. 4, 3, 2, 1, the apples. 4, 3, 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen. And he was talking to everyone. He gathered everybody at this apple farm. And he said, you guys, your model is all wrong. 4, 3, 2, 1 is the apples that you should be picking. And the pumpkins. They didn't choose a pumpkin like me and you. Oh, no. They took out the protractor and the circumference of the pumpkin to understand what is in this pumpkin for them. What does this pumpkin give to us? After we carve it for Halloween, What are we gonna do with this pumpkin? They're gonna make pumpkin mush, pumpkin minestrone, which they will pass throughout of La Salle. And President, the little president, is gonna monetize this pumpkin pie, pumpkin minestrone, and sell it for $3 a cup.
Who are we to question that story? So basically, little Presidente and to Peter Bernardi, hello. Little Presidente was picking 4-3-1-2,
4-3-2-1,
and then
Christmas
no,
tree formation.
based on the dimensions, he then got them to calculating the weight. Never mind putting them on a scale, Moritz. Until you reach that level of our Presidente, you might have TLN over there. You're featured. You guys are featured on TV, but do you have the mental calculations of?
He also changed the weighting system of the apple farm. We're not gonna go with scales. We're gonna take an old tablecloth, damp it up, put all the apples inside, and someone's gonna stand on the other side. If he goes up, it's more than X number of kilograms. If he doesn't, that's the flat rate, boys.
Is he one of those guys that they're allowed to 25 pounds, but the ones that he eats is like, yeah, but this one doesn't count.
Everybody had a school bag. Everybody had a school bag. And what was in those school bags? Apples.
On that note, guys, happy Thanksgiving again.
Off in his Monte Carlo like this. I love this podcast.
So, big news this week.
No. What happened now?
Big news.
Yeah.
We had a trending hashtag.
Yes.
We changed that Sabrina supposedly they never heard these expressions, changing $1 for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And this was Milan Mo saying, "Bring Presidente live on the podcast."
He will
Milan
put
Mo.
you to sleep.
No,
He will put you to sleep.
No, you can't have president. First of all, it wouldn't be our president would be Marcel because he would delegate to his body double. But if you want to be put to sleep,
But if we survey our members,
yeah,
and the fabulous YouTube listeners,
yeah,
who do have trouble sleeping, maybe we can inject a segment at the end of the podcast, Presidente Lullabies, where he will randomly talk to you for about 14 minutes, and we will guarantee you will fall asleep. And his wonderful, beautiful voice, Vinny.
Oh my God. And again, we'll repeat, stay tuned at the end of this podcast, interviewing a Canadian Senator, Tony Lofreda.
Okay, let's get it on. Let's get it on.
So, Gianpaolo out, Pioli in, but the hashtag was Pioli out. And, Steve, on a serious note, when Presidente posted the preview to our show, he had used the hashtag Pioli out. Not knowing what it incurred and what followed through from over there. But guys, in no way, shape, or form were we part of these people wishing death upon Pioli, saying that Astori died because he wanted to get away from Pioli. Now, I'm just saying, Colin's live from YouTube. Hello, Colin. Now, Steve, having had 1 week after all of this, right? I think he composed himself pretty professionally. I think he's not stupid, right? But here's my question to you. The whole changing $1 for 4 quarters. I think Maldini, Boban, and company are not stupid people. No. Do you think that there's something being withheld? There's something that they're not saying because no disrespect to Pioli, but he hasn't done anything to, maybe he starts a new team, they do really good, and then at the end, do pretty bad. But do you feel that there's something that they're holding it away from us? That did he lose? People talk about, was he set up to fail from the beginning? People talk, did he lose the locker room? But in the end, I don't know if it was you tweeted out, but I remember seeing this was he didn't pick out his best starting 11 even after 7 games. So what do you think of all this? Do you think there's maybe something they're not telling us?
I don't know. I don't know if there's something that they're not telling us, but to be very honest with everybody, I had the chance to speak with David and the Calcio Land group the other day, where they let me let loose on Milan, right? So you know that myself and Vinny, we put ourselves out there in front of the millions and millions of fans that either watch or listen or download.
1,500 of you last week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm not shy to say this. I always wanted to give Gianpaolo time. I think that we did not give him enough time, but he didn't do himself any favors. So, like you said, after 7 games, if you don't know and cannot identify your strongest starting 11 for whatever reason, it is time that management starts looking at you. Now, we could also look at management and say, you hired this guy because you wanted to give him time. Was 7 games enough time? Hell no. But by management, and I tip my hat to them because I had time. I had a lot of time to think about it with the international break. I tip my hat on them because getting rid of Gianpaolo, they basically told everybody we were wrong.
You know what? I like that because it did feel different because we didn't go change. We didn't go. That's why I believe there's something that they're holding back from us because it seems different from all the other firings and changing of the coaches. This one seems different because it just seemed from the person that we replaced them with. Some things, like Edwin saying, based off the training videos, I already like Pioli more than Gianpaolo actually interacts with his players as opposed to jotting down notes in a little book. Daniel Flego, Milan just didn't play for Gianpaolo properly. Adam Pugliotto, I think giving up on his tactics after game 1 was a sign for things to come. And again, there's always the greatly written tweet was he set up to fail from day one? Maybe, but let's look at it this way here. If you're trying to play Suso as a trequartista and he keeps on going to that side, now, Signor Gianpaolo, I respect what you've done, what you've accomplished throughout your career. But in the end, even though I felt it was a mistake changing him, the more I've digested this news, and I think that if they made this, and they saw that they made the decision, but they didn't make it easy. Like you saw that they struggled with the
because
decision.
they had to admit they were wrong.
Do you guys agree with that? I think Steve's right. I think this was an admittance of mea culpa. We did something wrong, and hopefully, I believe we're going back with the 4-3-3.
It looks like it. Whatever he's going back with, whatever Pioli's going back with, or what he wants to try, or what he wants to do, people, if you haven't learned from the Gianpaolo experience with Pioli, it will take time.
So Roberto Beluzzi asked us, so does Milan fire Pioli if after 7 games he's doing as bad?
So Pioli's contract has a stipulation inside that says he's signed for 2 years, but if he does not make European football this year, he will get let go. Now, I know after 7 games, that's the question. Guys, we cannot go another 7 games. If we're going to go 7 games at a time, there's 38 giornate. That's a lot of coaches. There's not enough out there.
And if you want to take a look at our month of November, we better come up to swinging against Lecce because I think we have Napoli, Juve in the month of November.
And I think the management's decision did play a little bit on the fact that there was this international break because it does give him an extra week to play with whatever players are there. I don't want to hear this excuse that I didn't see Benacer because he's away. I didn't see Rebic because he's away. We went to get Pioli. We think that he can do the job. Let's give him some time and let's make him do what he does. Now, everybody's with this Pioli out. I was a little bit shocked to see that type of hashtag. Now, some people came at me and said, oh, but it doesn't mean Pioli out. If you write hashtag Pioli out, the casual fan's going to say, you just hired someone who you already want out the door without seeing one training session. And we just saw a comment there that from the videos of the training session, it seems like we like him more than Gianpaolo. And so he who made that comment gave him time. Now you start, of course, these hashtags will trend and will pick up garbage. This one picked up a lot of garbage.
Lots of garbage. And it just seems that, it's just hurtful to see like people. Are these true Milanisti, Steve, that want to trash on the team? It's like, for me, there's a difference, guys, between trashing on your team and being disappointed in your team. But to wish death, to say this and that, the season is over, I'm never watching Milan again. What kind of fan are you if you're saying stuff like that? Colin says, we can't keep shopping and changing. Hopefully, whatever Pioli does, he will bring more offensive and attacking play, wins and goals. Adriano da Pezzo di Pane, can't expect Pioli to wave a magic wand and things will get better, but slowly things can turn. Hopefully, right?
Slowly things can turn, and I agree with Adriano, and he knows that we talk a lot, and he knows my stance on this, that it does take time. But guys, this man has come from a really, really tragic situation. Something that Milan, knock on wood, has not gone through, and I hope will never go through. He lost a player. He lost a player that will never suit up for his team again. He lost a player, a city, a team, a family. They lost a human being, and still was able to keep his team united in this tragedy. That man is Pioli. You got to give him some credit of he does understand the human aspect of the game as well, and you got to give him some time to gel with this team as well.
Does management let him wear a turtleneck at the first game?
Of course, he has to wear the turtleneck. It's part of his Milan turtlenecks. That's coming out soon.
Steve, on that note, Milan guru T. Pepperoni asked us, so after everything, he's like, hope you guys are doing well. Yes, we are. What are the expectations for the season?
That's a very good question, T. Pepperoni, because to be very honest with everybody, again, I don't know what my expectations are. My expectations are to see continuity and chemistry and cohesiveness between owner, management, coach, players, social media team, everything. This love that we have for Milan, guys, it's getting out of control in terms of that. Milan itself, as a business, as a company, is out of control. You cannot, with the comment there, we cannot continue shopping. It's exactly that. We need to find some continuity, some chemistry to get the maximum of these players. Do we have 11 world-class players? No. Do we have a squad of 21, 24 players that can finish in the top 4? I believe we can, but it will take time. Is it this year? Is it this part of the project? What's their project? We spoke to Senator Tony, who put it perfectly. It's easy for us to criticize what went wrong because it already went wrong.
Exactly.
But let's start to hope, and let's start to see the good out of what's going to be coming from this Milan now with Pioli, and give him some time. And another thing that he said, the power. What power do we have as fans? We have the power to influence. And Milan Twitter sometimes has the power to influence negatively, and that's very bad. We we underestimate the damage that we do when we're hashtagging Pioli out. When the fans for Gianpaolo Gattuso were in front of Milanello with flames and fireworks, and Pioli comes to Milan, and because we're angry, it was a scene from like an old Western. There was a bushel of hay. That was what's that called? The barrel of hay. That was the hay.
Barrel,
the hay when there's no one there.
Yeah.
Come on,
But
guys.
I think going from being mad at changing a coach once again does not give you the right to trash on a guy like Pioli. Sabrina says black turtleneck, black blazer, and a red pocket square.
GQ magazine, Sabrina. GQ magazine.
They were talking about actually tumbleweed. Thank you
Tumbleweed,
guys. Thank you.
tumbleweed.
Let's take a question from YouTube.
Yes.
What do we make of Berlusconi's latest comments?
Which ones?
How could he be talking right now, Berlusconi?
Guys,
And thank you, Adamo, saying Berlusconi shouldn't be talking after selling us to frauds and putting us in this hole to begin with. Thank you. And I don't understand why I criticized the management. He criticized it. Berlusconi, I'm sorry. We appreciate what you did with the team, but right now, concentrate on Monza.
Yeah.
And don't talk about Milan anymore. Definitely don't talk about Milan anymore.
again, it's typical that it's easy to criticize.
Yeah.
It's very easy to criticize. These guys have a hard job. The management team has a hard job. They have the financial fair play on their back. They have UEFA on their back. They have the fans on their back. They have an owner who's obviously not in the football business on their back. And success and winning is what's going to make this team more profitable. And you know what? The Elliott Fund is not here forever. Berlusconi, we thought, was here forever. With age and with a ton of money that he invested into this company and got back, is gone now. So he becomes an actual fan. So who is he? Who am I to talk about Milan? Who are you to talk about Milan? Berlusconi now falls into the category of fan.
Yeah.
Galliani, he dealt with it differently. His son went on LinkedIn. I don't know if LinkedIn even existed in Italy, and started to trash the management. Galliani took it the actual classiest way ever. That's my son. He's entitled to talk to wherever he talks. We sold Milan. I don't want to talk negatively about Milan. I'm a fan now. That's the way Berlusconi, but he's not. He's a politician, guys.
Yeah. And Milan Mo saying the relation between fans and team seems bad. I was at the Genoa match, and Reina and Bilia were the only ones greeting the curva after the match. Oh, nice, thank you, Mo, for sharing that.
Yeah.
Frank the Tank saying happy Thanksgiving. Honest opinion, who do you prefer, Bilia or Benacer? As always, keep up the good work in Forza Milan. Honestly, Frank, can we even forget? Let's just talk about this season. Have we seen enough of both of them? Like Benacer had a great first outing, but then against Inter, it looked a bit sloppy. Then again, the experience. Bilia seems to, might not be touching every single ball, but maybe that presence, that experience that he has. I think it's too soon to actually give that comment, Steve.
They have to make a decision, Frank. Do they want to go and play their best 11? And I think Benacer is in that best 11.
Yes, definitely.
But that comes with risk. And that comes with games like Inter.
Against Lecce, I think Benacer should be starting.
Yes, but are you willing to live with that risk? You'll see probably Bilia, because Pioli coached them at Lazio, guys. Let's not forget, there's relationships here. He's going to go to someone that he trusts. Milan Twitter is going to go crazy, but in theory, as a new coach, you're going to go to at least the players that you trust. You'll see Bilia against Lecce. But at a certain point, he's going to have to find a way to possibly include both of them in that starting line.
Who knows? Some people are talking about maybe the 4-2-3-1. Who knows? But I think he's going with the 4-3-3 right now. Milanista Pelli. Who is this Milanista Pelli? From Ontario.
Hey.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Hey.
What is going on with Strinic? We pay money, find health problems, then just wasted money on players who can't or won't play. I don't know what's going on with Strinic.
These are just bad buys.
Yeah, there was just
bad buys that, unfortunately, look, all power to him. Found the medical issue. I hope everything turns around for him. But right now, we need to, as fans, not look at what's happening with Strinic and make Strinic deal with his problems. We have other problems.
Yeah,
we have other problems where people don't even have health issues, and we have problems with them. We have a problem on the right-hand side with Suso not being Suso, Calabria not being Calabria, and Kessie from time to time not being Kessie.
We want to be back on Team Frank. Come on, Kessie. Christian Espinoza, our friend from Peru. Who are some of your favorite players right now? I would say that that don't play for Milan, but I am sure that none of them are your favorites. Our favorite players right now?
Easily name players that I like that don't play on Milan.
Yeah, I know. I can say who do you like that doesn't play for Milan?
We're gonna eliminate Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, obviously.
But look, there's exciting guys. You have to tip your hat to Lewandowski. He's like that's at another level, guys. These are players that will be at the end of their career world class.
Yeah,
world class.
I don't know, like a favorite player that doesn't play for Milan.
You gotta respect the Chiesas. You gotta respect.
Definitely.
They're not favorite players, but they're up and coming. So it's a difficult question. I think we're gonna come back next week with our answers.
And I like that. We're gonna come back. I always liked. I like Insigne for somebody that.
Let's do this. Let's do this for who?
Okay.
Who asked us that? Peru.
Christian Espinoza.
Christian Espinoza. Next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you our favorite player starting 11, non-Milan.
Who is this? Kaz Zorek 73 traveling to Italy from Poland to see the Lecce game on Sunday. Do you think any fans are actually going to boycott the match? Remember seeing that hashtag Voto San Siro for a while last week. And Colin saying no points in boycotting. Any fan who does isn't a real fan. That's very well said. Maybe he's going with Milan Club Polonia, which we just interviewed, that take 18 hours in the bus. And if you are part of the Milan Club Polonia, chapeau to you. Guys, 18 hours.
18 hours, it better be full, that goddamn San Siro. Those guys are going there for 18 hours. That's what people get hurt when people boycott. Nice to boycott when you're in Milano and you take a 20-minute drive back to your apartment or house or condo, but people have come or will come from around the world to see an empty San Siro. That's just disgusting.
Who do we have here? We have Milan Mo said, do you think Rebic will finally play under Padre Pioli? Padre Pioli. Hopefully. Maybe he's going to be
Rebic it seems to fit in that Pioli style of game. He wants to see activity. He wants to see aggressiveness. He might be a little bit of a risk on the defensive side of the ball, but I think all our players need playing time, and that's why that playing time will take time, because you cannot have 7-8 games of experience in one game.
Let's see what he thinks, guys. Let's see what Tommy thinks. Thanks, guys, for keeping up the interaction.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Tommy. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. We're doing okay.
You sound like someone who spent a lot of money today.
Yeah. Did you spend a lot of money, Tommy? Baby stuff.
Well, I have to do a lot of baby shopping. That comes with the fact of having a baby.
There we go. So he has to spend the money, and he's got to deal with all the Milan stress, the Milan drama. Tommy, your fans want to know, where do you stand on this whole Pioli? Do you think we're going to have some sort of changes? Do you think we're going to...
solamente Padre Pio, after get Padre Pioli. I am not happy with this thing, even though I know a lot of people, they were criticizing Pioli before he came. Look, I am not the kind of guy who's going to say that Pioli should die or something like that. That was really stupid, the comment that they did. But I am not a Pioli fan. I am not a guy that would go get un interista, because he said that it was un tifoso interista to go coach il Milan. Him and even quell'altro stronzo di Spalletti. Tutte e due devono andare a fare in culo, even the Spalletti. I'm glad the only thing is that we didn't take him. But I don't think Pioli is going to do any good for Milan.
So Tommy, what would be your expectations right now? Do you think we make top 6? I'm not going to talk about top 4. You think we still can make top 6? What's your expectations?
I hope so. We changed the coach after 7 games. I would have given Gianpaolo another 4 to 5 games to see what he could have done. Because between me and you take off Gianpaolo to put somebody back. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. You're going, instead of going front, it seems like we're going backwards. Yes, maybe Boban didn't have a good feeling towards Gianpaolo, but you sack him to get somebody worse. But it was Ranieri at that point. Go get Ranieri. At least he has a bit of more experience. And go than getting Pioli. Pioli never finished. Not even. He only once he finished 3rd, and it was with Lala. After that, there was always 6th, 7th, 8th. Never reached the point of Champions League.
Yeah, but okay. So if he's gonna go with the 4-3-3, Tommy, who's getting sacrificed? Çalhanoğlu, he played okay today. I don't know if you saw him.
But he's a cadaver. This guy should leave. I'm telling you, this guy should just. Me, if I were him, if I were Pioli, you want to make an impression. Lascialo a casa, Topino, non te lo porta proprio.
So Çalhanoğlu takes away his space. A casa. Okay, so basically staying at home. But it's just, I don't know, Tommy. I guess we need to come up with a good showing against Lecce. I know November is a big gun.
The only thing I could tell you is that knowing him, He's probably going to start Villa all the games. He's probably going to put Benacer on the bench, and who knows when he's going to bring him on. I don't have a good feeling. Look, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't have a good feeling about him. And if he changes things around, well, sia lodato, signor Pioli. But I don't really believe so.
But you're not wishing that he does bad, right? So we don't
No,
expect.
I'm not wishing he does bad, but I don't know where this is going.
Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
The only good thing is that if he doesn't do good this year, he's gonna on the contract, as Steve said, he's gonna get sacked next year. So there you go. But let me ask you something. 9 coaches in the last 10 years.
Yep.
Don't you think that maybe the coach is not the problem?
Exactly. Yeah, you're makes sense. It's just that we want things to change. We want a bit more stability, and it just seems that what we've been presented with so far, the pieces of the puzzle don't seem so far to fit. Hopefully, we are true Milanistas. We hope, for me, I wish we come up with a 4-5-0 win on Sunday. Something to really.
See, the only thing, if we could win 3-4-0 against Lecce, that's perfect. Give us the momentum. But who do we have after Lecce? That's the thing. That we have Juventus. We have Napoli. Was there a good change? Was there a good time to change the coach before these big games?
But it's okay, Tommy.
I don't know.
We have the VAR. We have the VAR on our side against Juventus. Don't worry about it.
La VAR favorisce soltanto quella merda di Juventus. La Juventus vince solamente in Italia per colpo degli arbitri, gli arbitri che sono comprati dal signor Agnelli. Il signor Agnelli dovrebbe andare per 100 anni in prigione.
I guess I should have mentioned once again.
Dovrebbe andare in prigione and throw away the key, this guy.
Tommy, most of our fans are like from the Middle East, from Europe. They don't speak Italian. You don't seem to care, right?
Non me ne frega.
Guys.
Io l'ho detto e lo ripeto. Io l'ho detto e lo ripeto. Io posso parlare italiano, francese, inglese, pure spagnolo.
Oh.
Ma mi devono capire quando io parlo. Io parlo perché la Federazione Italia Gioco Calcio è una corruzione, totale contro il Milan.
And Liban Youssef on YouTube just wrote in capital, FIGC is corrupted.
And he's right. It is corrupted.
He's part of your fan club.
Corrupted not to make Milan make the Champions League. And you know why? I could tell you why. Perché se il Milan fa la Champions League, la Juventus is going to be eliminated, none other than from Milan. They are afraid. They are totally terrified of facing Milan in the Champions League. That's why they don't want Milan to be there.
You've heard it here once again from our correspondent, Tommy. Tommy, thank you very much again for answering the phone earlier than usual. Hope you had fun doing all the baby shopping, and maybe we'll see each other on Sunday.
Ragazzi, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And once again, fine young gentlemen out there, you guys are the best. And I hope you see you for Lecce this coming weekend.
Hopefully so. We'll take a.
I'll be there.
We'll be there.
I have to pick up my brakes, Tommy.
You'll come in.
Man,
Have yourself a good night, Tom. We'll talk soon.
you two guys.
Okay, ciao.
Buonanotte, ciao.
Ciao. Edwin saying, Tommy saying what we all know already. Yes, that's what Tommy's.
That's what Tommy does, Edwin.
Let's compare to Miguel da Milanista. Let's compare Pioli's first 7 matches: Lecce, Roma, Spal, Lazio, Juve, Napoli, Parma, with Giampaolo's first 7 matches: Udine, Brescia, Verona, Inter, Torino, Fiorentina, and Genoa. Tough way to start a new coach. You know what? Thank you very much. That's guys. Let me repeat: Lecce, Roma, Spal, Lazio, Juventus. I feel like Berlusconi. That's it. Napoli and Parma, guys. He's got to come up with some points over there.
Yeah.
Milcor. Do you want Stefano Pioli to be coach of Milan? It's not like I think we spoke about that last week. I don't think it was our first choice. I said that if we had a choice, we might as well bring in Ranieri as an interim coach. But maybe Pioli, They didn't see him as an interim coach. Maybe who knows if he comes up with something. And he's got a Senegalese, a flag. Maybe he's from Senegal. Yango Christodoulakis. I hope I didn't mess that up. Do you guys actually think Spalletti will make a difference? Will Inter allow? Oh, but this is from 6 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, I think, guys, I think we got all the questions, and because we had a long interview. What else do we have over here? Massimo, obviously the European clubs don't want to see AC Milan in Champions League. Aren't they scared maybe AC Milan will start a kiss ass to everybody? You guys are the best there on YouTube, but guys, I know it's a very big, month in November, end of October for us. But Steve, let me ask you this. I'm going to repeat these teams that he just said. Now, I'm going to ask you something, and I'm not sure that, hold on a second, because what I want to know,
I don't make predictions.
is people, no, I don't want your prediction. What I want to know is everybody going to treat, right, Pioli's first 7 games?
Absolutely not.
As if it were, guys, again, Lecce, okay, Roma top team. Lazio top team.
Roma top
Juventus
Roma top team.
top 4,
Yeah.
top 5. But there's top 4 teams in this group.
Yeah. If the teams that we should struggle against,
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. And now, I'm not saying that he's going to take over from Giampaolo, but the only teams that this Milan, and I'm not going to go away from my message at the beginning of the year. The only teams that they should struggle against are Juve and Napoli. Because their class and their quality.
We didn't say win or lose.
No,
struggle. Yeah.
Their class and their types of players and their depth will cause Milan a problem. Their style of play will cause Milan a problem. The rest of the team, if you want the rest of the games, if you want to make top 4, you need to get points from those teams. Roma included, Lazio included. Those are direct competition for that 4 spot, whether you like it or not. Right now, Juve, Inter, Napoli, that's 3. It's going to be very hard to crack that top 3. Napoli, of those 3, is the one that struggles the most. The other 2 are in fine form. It hurts me to say it, but they're in fine form. Napoli, Roma, Lazio are direct competition for those top 4 spots. You want to make it to the Champions League, you gotta show up for those games.
Milan Mo saying thank you for doing the podcast earlier this time. First time that I could join. Our pleasure. Let's hope there's Thanksgiving every Monday. Let's talk about wrapping this up. Your indigestion of the week. Any indigestions?
Pioli out, stupid hashtag. Fans not going to see
100%.
Pioli come to the game. Disgusting. Fans boycotting, who don't understand that there's worldwide fans of Milan. They might not take us as seriously as they think they are Milan fans, but 18-hour bus rides back and forth, that's 36 hours. Poland. I'm not even saying across the pond here in North America, because it is very much more difficult for us to get over. But think about you Milan fans in Italy, in Milan. You're going to boycott that. You're going to take away that experience from other European countries that have a Milan flag in their own city, representing Milan in Poland, London, Czechoslovakia, Serbia, wherever you are. That's a problem, guys. That's a problem.
Feel good moment of the week. I got to say, Steve, honestly, Italy is qualified with no losses.
Lazur. We went an hour. We didn't even talk about Lazur.
Seriously? Like, isn't it part of our DNA to let's qualify the last minute? I know, Donnarumma stood on top of his head, especially against Greece. They could have went up 1-0 on the first half. Love seeing Gigio. What maturity that we've seen from him from the last couple of years.
Now we're going to sign him in a contract.
Yes, hopefully. So that was a great feeling. Massimo saying Father Pioli will play the 4-2-3-1. Who knows? I wouldn't. Okay, so let's finish up with that one, guys. Actually, you know what? We're going to reserve the 4-2-3-1 to Red Card Weekly, Milan Weekly podcast after dark.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to say goodbye to you here on the official podcast. Next time, if you're following on YouTube, you get part of the exclusive
Yeah.
Milan Weekly podcast after dark. ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan.
Ciao. Okay, guys. Yes, Red Card Weekly. I remember. Okay, hold on. Before we let you go, 4-2-3-1. Steve. Robert Pelusi saying Italy 17-1 odds on winning the World Euro Cup. No, I don't think so. But still impressive that they
17-1 is a good bet.
It's a good bet. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that bet.
4-2-3-1. Okay, guys. Who are your two midfielders? Kessie and Benacer? And then who do you play up front? You can play Suso, Rebic, maybe under the strike. I don't know. What do you guys see? So Milkor Football 3 says 4-2-3-1. He loves it in FIFA. Conti instead of Suso. Really, Sabrina? Okay. Benacer, Bilia. Okay. But guys, let's say right under behind the striker. So if we do 4-2-3-1, who are your three? We'd have to have Suso on one side, maybe Rebic right behind the striker. I don't know. But I don't mind the 4-2-3-1. But Bilia and Kessie to start, then hoping to see Benacer to come in. Yeah, that's a good one. Kessie, Benacer, Trequartista, Leao. You know, yeah, if you do Leao, even Leao, Paquetá, Rebic, and Piontek. Massimo, I like that one a lot. I really do. Steve, I know you're taking a lead. Kessie, Benacer, Leo, Paquetá, Rebic, and Piontek. Sold. So Steve says sold. Caldara, I believe he was training, Mo. I believe we saw him training there. Sabrina. What do you mean he's fat today? You guys, you hear him screaming from the bathroom. He's good going up the line, not so great in defending. I love to see that experiment. But guys, true question. Where does Borini fit in here, right? Super sub Borini should be coming on for maybe to substitute Leao or maybe to substitute Suso. But Rebic, Leao, Bonaventura. Yeah, I like maybe Paquetá, Bonaventura, Steve. You know what I mean? Maybe Paquetá right there. No, that's a pretty good one, guys. That's a pretty good one. Again, guys, thank you. Yes, Borini is a striker. Borini is a jack of all trades. You could put him anywhere. Guys, thank you very much once again. I don't know how many times we have to say thank you every single time, but again, last week over 1,500 counting YouTube, all the downloads. It's very humbling, guys. Thank you so very much for everything that you do. So if you guys do listen to the podcast, we'll have Milanismo Worldwide dropping on Thursday with Milan Club Polonia and Poland from the land of John Paul II and pierogies. And then we'll have, at the end of this podcast, well, not at the end of YouTube, but on the audio one, we'll have Senator Tony Lofred. He's a Canadian senator, and he kept us on there for a good half an hour, very well spoken. We're going to add that on to the end there. And Milan Mo says we need Samu and Borini in the front. Yes. As long as we're able to.
Straight going to the hospital.
Yeah. So, and yes, big shout out to the women for winning the derby. Yes, Adamo, fantastic for them. And hopefully, Presidente is not going to steal our thunder. Maybe next time we'll be able to interview one of the ladies there.
Or else I'll talk to them like this.
Guys, happy Thanksgiving from us all across Canada. To any of you guys listening in, thank you so very much. You're welcome, Milan Mo, for your first time. Colin as well. I think it's his first time on the. We're gonna try to give you a regular schedule, guys, but it's hard for us, with our jobs and family and kids. I'm the single one. I got myself and the bureau to deal with. But guys, ovunque e sempre. Go eat some turkey. Have yourselves a good night. State a ball. Ciao.
Camarone da combine.
What?
Camarone da combine.
What is that?
Come on.
We're the English voice of Radio Rosanero.
I don't care.
Ciao, guys.